Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be back. I hope, I always say this to you. I hope the lighting is okay because I've been in here adjusting between the natural light, which was like super bright and flickering, to the unnatural light, which was clashing because it's yellow in color. It's just strange. So to me, it looks a little dim. I hope it's not too dim for you. And so I have a reading today, 6 cards as per usual. And I'm super excited about it. And I just feel like I'm getting increasingly excited about these because it is the resonance is just so deep. And the one thing I do want to point out about the reading I'm doing today is that I feel like all through it, first of all, it's interwoven. Despite my using one, two, three, four different decks, the messages are interwoven, and additionally the majority of the messages are things that came out of my mouth to other people throughout this week. So that makes me excited. And a special conversation I had last night with my mentor, a lot of the themes that she and I touched upon and went over, here we are again. And she mentioned, she said, spirit has been all throughout this call, and I'm so grateful for it. And she's absolutely right. And coming up today, having a lot of the themes that we discuss come right up in this reading means we are in a similar energy, because the questions she was asking me that she had prepared ahead of time were spot on. She's like, so where are you with this? And I'm like, OMG, I was working on that this week, or it's been on my mind. I'm conceptualizing it this week. So this is great. So I really hope that this reading today serves you. I hope I really can convey everything that I want to say here. And if you have any questions about the reading, you can certainly reach out to me. Email is perfect. I talk to people once in a while through Facebook Messenger, but I don't care. I don't have that on my phone, so I'm less available through Facebook. However, I'm always available through the Lightways page on Facebook. So, but if you need me, I'm here. If you have any questions, let me know. And we are going to get started. And the first deck is always my Enchanted Map deck, which is my love. So, and the first card that we have right now is Ride the Wave. And this Ride the Wave card is about abundance coming to you. It may not be financial abundance, but it is like a life abundance. Things coming into, people coming into your life. People are probably coming in from your past, popping up in various ways, coming back into your life for some reason or other. And it's just receiving that and trying to get to the bottom of what that means for you and your journey. So this could feel very abundant if it's people who are meaningful or people you have a chance to reconnect with. It could be an opportunity that circled its way back around. Maybe in the past you lost the opportunity to do something, or it wasn't the right time. Maybe it came out around again and now is your chance and your opportunity. So that's what the Ride the Wave card is about. However, next card is the Solitude card. And this Solitude card is about meditation. So if a lot of things are coming blast from your past, multiple opportunities, a lot of things are going through your mind, if you're thinking about a lot, if you can't cut down to the root of anything, meditate. Meditate to clear your mind and take the time to get clarity about what you need to do next. That's what I've been doing all week because there are just a lot of different things that are coming up for me. And I don't know about you, but for my meditation practice, what I'm realizing again, that what really helps me is to meditate in the morning, yes, but prior to meditation, write in your journal. So all those superfluous thoughts, you can write it down, get it out of your head, get it out of your system, so that when you do meditate, there are probably going to be less interruptions, because I've been meditating more this week and I'm just like, all these thoughts and scenarios keep popping into my head. What's going on? Then I'm like, oh, I should do some writing in my journal first. So I'm going to incorporate that again. And next time around, hopefully I'll remember to share with you if that got better for me if I saw some improvement by writing it down. But certainly take some time to just sit quietly and just relax into your space, into yourself, and clarity will come. Even if you set out your meditation with an intention, all right, I'm not sure about this thing. Which way should I go? And just sit with it. And it's amazing how the next step, the answer will come to you. I use meditation to talk me off the ledge and everything. So I highly recommend it. Okay. So, and our next card is commitment. This commitment card means that it is a ripe time for making partnerships. So when you think of that in the context of maybe there's some people who came in from your past or an opportunity, now's a good time. Now's a good time to make that connection, make a commitment. Just know what you're committing to, know what you're signing up to. For. So ask the questions and, really make sure that it's going to serve you as much as possible. But again, if you have too many scenarios rolling through your head, it will be more difficult to make an informed decision or to move into any form of commitment if you are unclear. So really take the time to meditate. Take the time, because you know what? Whatever is there that came into your life, into your space, will still be there if it's supposed to, even if you take a little bit more time to try to figure out which direction you'd like to go in. So keep that in mind. Like, try to avoid getting pushed in or feeling like salesy, where it's like, get it now or it won't be there. Get it while it's hot. It's all right. Whatever's supposed to be there for you will be there for you regardless. So nurture yourself and take the time to figure out what the next step looks like for you, how that feels, how you can envision it potentially, and then go forward with it. So it might be a little bit difficult to do because you might feel on shaky ground. And so I wasn't surprised at all when I got this card. This is an Archangel Michael card for root chakra. So it's reversed, as you can see. Here's an update. So the moment you see a reversal with the root chakra, your root chakra, that is the first chakra. It governs your security, your stability, your place in the world. So if you feel unstable there, it is critical to ground yourself. Meditation keeps coming back up because you can do a root chakra meditation. You can look them all up on YouTube and find one that resonates with you. But essentially, a lot of these guided visualization type meditations are just going to ask you to sit still, plant your feet, ground in, imagine sending your energy down into Mother Earth, and also imagining, energy, red light flowing in your root chakra area, which is like, around your hips, your rear, just what you're grounded, like your seat, like when you're sitting, your seat. It's going to say focus on your seat and think of red light clearing, shining, red stone, a red flower spinning, 3-petal, just blossoming for you. So there's that. Also, if you're like me and food plays a huge part in your energetics, you want to have some grounding foods potentially. Potatoes are very good for that. Food carrots, food that came from the earth is really good. Those of you coffee drinkers, I'm not going to outright tell people who don't drink coffee to drink coffee, but coffee can be very grounding and very soothing. I know a lot of people who use coffee for their caffeine benefits. For me, the caffeine doesn't really do much, but it helps me feel very calm and brought down to earth when I have coffee ever. So very grounding types of foods help with your root chakra. And our next card is about manifestation. This is She is the Moon. And what this card is saying is that what we're supposed to have manifest in our lives is happening in divine timing. It's happening in the right time. So you don't need to necessarily cajole or push. There are times in our lives where we should take action and we shouldn't take action. And this is the time for you to determine where you are on that spectrum. Is it a time for you to push anything forward or to relax? This card is telling you, chances are it's probably time to kind of relax. And that goes back to what? Solitude. That goes back to what? Your potential instability, feelings of instability. Wait, there are cycles. The moon is cyclical. And there are cycles of pushing things forward, taking action, and cycles of taking steps back. So this is, like I said, about potentially taking steps back, having your solitude and your rest to figure out what your next step should be. So relax and take the time. And our last card is also about manifestation. It's flow, but it's not necessarily the same flow that I always discuss where I'm like, go with the flow, let it all happen. This is about your place in the flow of the universe, your manifestation power within the context of universal law and everything, all that is around you. So it's saying that you are in control of the manifestation of your happiness and your joy. And if there's something you need to change, like maybe your attitude is a little bit, a damper, try to switch that around so that you can put out the kind of vibration that you want to have come back to you, that you want to rise up to, because the things you're saying, the things you're thinking, they're coming up for you. I know for me, they're coming up. Pay attention to the signs that you're getting from the universe. I know for me lately, it's like I'll think of something and then bam, it's that something. I think of a person and it's like, OMG, it's that person. So that, and I spoke to one of my family members about it, and she says to me, she's like, it really sounds like you're manifesting right now. You need to go and make your vision board, and you're making things happen. So go and do it. Like, focus that in on something that's going to propel you forward. And I love getting that advice, because even though I have a lot to share, there are things that I forget in my mind that I have to come back around to myself. And that's why I'm continuously on this learning journey, continuously on this healing journey. And the critical piece of this card, and I said this to my BFF like 2 days ago, we run into the same issues, the same patterns, the same scenarios, the same faces in our lives to try to trigger us, trigger past hurts so that we can have the opportunity to revisit and finally heal it. So pay attention to the recurring themes that are happening, the things that are continuously getting under your skin that you can't get by, the people in your life that are like, oh, there is something that they're doing that I feel like they're doing to me, when they're just really not doing anything to you at all, but mirroring you and what you've got going on. Also, one thing that came up for me strongly this week was, it's not always just about you. This connection, these people, blasts from the past coming in, or other things coming around, taking you to the past, reminding you of things, it could be for their benefit too. So there are lessons to be learned in all of our interactions with others, but they have lessons to learn on their end too. So you might just be a conduit for their lesson, or their healing. You get yours too, but it might really be more about them than you. And that's one of the things that I'm working with now myself. All right? So I hope that all came together for you. I feel really amazing about it. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. And the last thing that I really want to share with you is that I'm reading a book, The 4 Agreements, super excited. The 4 Agreements is like these 4 principles by these like ancient Mexican healers and spiritual workers called the Toltecs. And I'm super excited. So I'm just going to share the 4 agreements with you, because again, I'm always on a journey of trying to get better and do better. And I know a lot of my weaknesses, and the 4 agreements is helping me to assess and analyze where I am and what I really need to work on in some circumstances. So I'm going to show you the 4 agreements. I'm going to show you the book. So this is Don Miguel Ruiz. Recently got this online. And the 4 agreements. And the 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word. So being impeccable with your word means watching what you say to yourself about yourself and to others about them. So it's trying to get away from things like, of course, gossip, which can be low vibrational. That's one of the ways I know that I'm moving into a low vibrational space, is if I engage in gossip. And then I'm like, oh, that felt kind of gossipy. Yikes. I need to go and, I don't know, take a salt bath, meditate, do something to get me out of that space. So being impeccable with your word is not just about others, it's about you too. So if you're saying disparaging stuff about yourself, oh, I'm too old, oh, I can't, oh, it'll always be this way, oh, I'm fat, oh, this, that, try to avoid that. Try to avoid that. Also, being impeccable with your word means telling people yes when you want to say yes, telling people no when you want to say no. Also, communicating what your needs are. You know, so especially when we're talking about commitment today, you really want to communicate your needs with people when it comes to that. Also, coming into one of the other agreements, I'm going out of order now. Don't make assumptions. If you need an answer, ask for what you need, or you'll spend the day telling stories in your head, figuring, oh, they did this because of this. Assumptions. Oh, I feel like we all do it. Even if we don't outright do it to the person, we'll assume on our own in our minds without asking the person anything. And then we go to our friends and our family and we're like, they did blah, blah, blah. I think it's because, probably just ask. And that level of assuming for me is where I have a weakness, because I'm like, oh, they probably did this, this probably happened, that probably happened, and never ask one question to the source to say, hey, what went on? Hey, I want to know, you know? So this book is helping me to think about how I can be better at that. So that was a second agreement. It's actually the third one on the list. Don't make assumptions, but I skipped. The second one is don't take anything personally. And that goes back to, it's not always about you. So if someone did something that seemed like it was at you, it's really about them. And I come to learn this a while back and really feel it. When someone did something to me that I felt was an affront, they said something, they did something, I started feeling like, you know what? This isn't about me, this is about them. This is projection. So think of the ways that you could potentially be projecting onto others when you maybe have an argument with them. And that goes back to impeccable with your word. You know, and impeccable with your word is about managing emotions, not repressing them. And what Don explains in a book is that when you explode emotionally, that's not expressing your emotions. That's actually like restraint. And when you take the time to not explode, wait until you calm down, that's refrain, and that gives you the appropriate way to express your emotions, which was really cool to me to see that written and to really take that in. Because as much as I try to remain calm, we know that there are people who could push your buttons. But it's not really that they're doing so much as pushing your buttons. It's that they're mirroring you and triggering the things that you are fearful of, the things that have harmed you, your traumas, and that's all coming up as vitriol and explosion toward that other person. So this is a really awesome book. You should really get it if it resonates with you. And last thing is, always do your best. Always do your best. So the thing about, and your best doesn't mean, your best is contextual in this agreement. So what he said was, your best while you're well and happy is not the same as your best when you're feeling sick or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling depressed, that's two different best. So do your best based on where you are. So if you're feeling crummy, you're feeling sick, put forth your best effort that you can muster while you're in that state. And also, if you feel like you fall short for any reason, be patient and kind with yourself. Forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up for it. So if you think about approaching these other agreements, impeccable with your word, don't take anything personal, don't make assumptions, and put that in the context of working to be your best, that's going to get the ball in motion to make some change in your life, some transformative change. So this is what's on my mind right now and what I'm going to be working on. If you have any questions about the book, or you want to get a link to where I got it from, all of that, you can let me know. Thank you if you tuned in this long. I appreciate you. And awesome. Have a great day. See you next time. Namaste.